Family, I am struggling on this fast. I almost lost it this morning. I almost lost it. I was about to say, I can't continue. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. But hey, we're gonna make it through today. We talking about quinoa. Come join us. Let's have this conversation. Then I'm gonna go feed my kids, and we about to get up out of here. All right.
I'm being that show.
It's almost less time for my girls, and I'm not gonna let them be in this video right now. So, Sasha, go on about your business. I got their lunch done, and you know, I've noticed that this is really the first time that I've really been off. Right? Excuse me. This is the first time that I've really been off, right? And only had to really worry about my kids. Like usually about this time, for the last maybe, for years, but this is kind of early in the summer. But we kind of switched Simba to about this time of year. I will be at Simba, or I will be meeting on this Saturdays with my group, and I really never really had time off. And because of this accident, I had to take some time off. And man, I feel extremely good. Right? My mind is clearing up. You know, I'm doing a fast. I'm struggling. And of course, you know, we talk about the benefits of struggling and sacrificing and all that stuff, right? And I'm learning to harness energy. Can you close that door, please?
Yeah.
I'm learning to harness energy. So one of the things we're going to look at, because now is the week, this is going to be the roughest week, because after tomorrow I will be moving off of the ambrosia straight to the water. Go on, sit down, please.
The water factory.
I'm moving straight to water. You see my girls trying to get on the thing. Don't get in trouble. I realized that last week I did a video on seaweed, and I didn't have any examples of seaweed up in there, but this is one of the brands that I get. Like I said, I'm trying to plug us into culturally appropriate foods, and I know a lot of y'all like, well, seaweed is not African, but is there a coast on Africa? Is there a relationship between some African people, especially some of the ones we might have came from, and the ocean? Okay, then this can be considered culturally appropriate foods. Now, another food that I kind of find kind of strange that wasn't mentioned, but it's because it came up in South America. But it's something I think that we can adopt and really start using, you know what I'm saying? Because it is about trade and about us growing. So we might need to expand our repertoire, looking at some of the health benefits and the taste of the seaweed and some of the properties that it brings. Like the mineral content is undeniable. You know what I'm saying? And when we can find healthy seaweed, and we may be able to get into seaweed production with some of our African brothers and sisters, we really need to look into this, right? It's definite possibility for us to improve our health, as well as a possible business venture. You know what I'm saying? Now, the next one is a seed from South America, which is what we're gonna be talking about. Is known as quinoa, spelled Quinoa, right? A lot of y'all might be saying quinoa or whatever, but it's pronounced quinoa, right? Very powerful. Now, y'all hear me say seed, but a lot of y'all will be like, "Oh, that's not a seed. That is a what they consider it. That's like a wheat or something." Nah, it's actually a seed. We're gonna read about it, right? I'm reading from the Authority Nutrition. It's an article by Chris Gunnar, right? 11 proven benefits of quinoa, right? Get a good look at that. So you go get it. Now, let me tell you about these seeds right now. Nyame family, listen. In order to get the real power of the seed, to get the ashe actually flowing, because the seed is a state that plants go into for the beginning Genesis. But if we just eat the straight seed, we don't get the full benefits. Like when we just eat the nuts, we don't get the full benefits because we have not introduced them to the element in nature that releases their potential. And that element is water, right? When we allow them to sprout just a little bit, when we expose them to water and allow them to soak, you know what I'm saying? We allow the ashe, more of the ashe, more than just, because what we need to start getting is more than just the, oh man, my mind is, we need to get more than just the fiber, right? See, because a lot of us, we're eating nuts and we're just getting the fiber. No, family, we need to get more than the fiber, because some of these nuts can supercharge our ashe, can supercharge us. And remember, it's about us learning to harness this power, because remember, we are a super organism, family. The more we start researching about this microbiome, the more we start understanding that we are a super organism. And being super means that you have over 100 trillion little beings that are depending on you, right? And when you take care of them, they take care of you, right? Now, so I want you to understand, you got this powerhouse. It's just churning in you, you got a symbiotic relationship. And I want you to understand this, right? About symbiotic relationships, right? Especially healthy symbiotic relationships. One party takes care of the other party takes care. See, because it's a healthy cycle. When it's healthy, it's a healthy cycle. So you give what you need to give. It gives what it needs to give. So in order for you to feed quality food to it, right, it will make a way for you to find to get the food that you need, or to get the resources to get the food that you need. See, what we are underestimating is our personal power, right? Our personal abilities, right? Oh, I can't afford to eat healthy. I can't afford to do this. I can't afford to do that, because you think it's just you. But you are a super organism. You got trillions of beings depending on you, right? Trillions of little wheels inside of you. Not WILLS, little wheels that you can direct that energy towards the universe to start attracting to you what you need. And I know a lot of y'all like, oh, brother, I think that sounds crazy. But hey, family, I mean, is it any crazier than you praying? Is it any crazy? I mean, is it any crazier than some of the beliefs that we already got? Right? Most of y'all see me sipping on the result of a symbiotic relationship. Right? This Scobie has a personal relationship with me, and it gives me what I need, and it keeps me healthy, and it's been keeping me going. Because I want y'all to understand, we are on day 13, right? My energy is a little bit low, right? But I'm still able to do my exercise. I'm still able to do my meditation. I'm still able to take care of my girls. And my girls are about to go walk in the park after I give them a bath. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've been enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still able to provide my Scobies with what they need so they could provide me with what I need. Right? Still been able to do it. Right? So there's a symbiotic relationship there. So now I have extended billions down in my basement working for me, along with the trillions that's sitting right inside of me right now. And I'm just saying, family, once you start learning how to guide your personal universe, because I want you to understand, you are a personal universe. And once you start learning to guide and take care of your personal universe, the sky is the limit for you. The sky is the limit for us. So when my universe is working with your universe, and your universe is working with somebody else's universe that is in our circle, and we have a circle, a like-minded circle, and we are able to start working and harnessing these powerhouses, these superorganisms, right? Getting them working, getting them focused on similar things is going to start attracting things to our circle. So the little business ideas that I'm talking about, family, gonna be nothing to us. Nothing to us. We're going to attract exactly what we need. So let's look at some of these benefits of Quinoa, which is a product of South America, which is being grown in other places, which we maybe need to get our hand into. You know what I'm saying? Because this whole health field and this whole, you know, there's a lot, you know. You see Amazon is moving into the shit. Coca-Cola, and I need y'all to understand this, Coca-Cola is moving into the kombucha business. Y'all think Brother Hatim is playing? Right? Health is the wealth. Health is the new wealth. We got people falling off. People falling off because they're not taking care of themselves. Right? And we're talking about harnessing and training people on harnessing their life force. You, those of you that's listening, and those of you that's building with me, you are going to be a commodity. You are going to be a producer of content that people are going to be looking for and trying to get. Why? Because you're not telling them. What you're doing is you're plugging them into a method of extending their ashe. Right? Because one of the things I know about, man, one of the things I know, that I know is coming, that a lot of y'all might not even be expecting, people gonna start looking towards African wisdom. They're gonna start looking towards wisdom from ancient cultures. But they're gonna be looking for it with the new twist. And guess who got it? Yeah. Quinoa is one of the world's most popular health foods. Quinoa is gluten-free, high in protein, and one of the few plant foods that contain all 9 essential amino acids. It's also high in fiber, magnesium, B vitamins, iron, potassium, calcium, phosphorus, vitamin E, and various beneficial antioxidants. Here are 11 health benefits of quinoa, or quinoa. I say it's quinoa. It look like quinoa, but it's quinoa. Very nutritious. Quinoa is a grain crop that is grown for edible seeds. It's pronounced quinoa. Edible seeds. I told y'all, right? Excuse me, ladies. It technically isn't a cereal grain, but a pseudo cereal. Quinoa was an important crop for the Inca Empire back in the day. They referred to it as the mother of all grains and believed it to be sacred. So, this is a sacred food. We talked about that before, right? We get to partake in the sacred food of another culture. A sacred food. Not just food. Sacred, right? This means that this food was held above other foods. And believed to be sacred. It has been consumed for thousands of years in South America, although it only became trendy and reached superfood status a few years ago. These days, you can find quinoa and products made with it all over the world, especially in health food stores and restaurants that emphasize natural foods. There are three main types: white, red, and black. I guess this would be considered white because it's not black. I can't wait to find the black, and I want to check out the red. So I guess this is considered white. This is what they look like. Well, ain't got a picture of that. This is the nutrient content in 1 cup, 185 grams. This applies to cooked quinoa or quinoa. Protein, listen, 8 grams. Fiber, 5 grams. Manganese, 58% of the RDA. Magnesium, 30% of the RDA. Phosphorus, 28% of the RDA. Folate, 19% of the RDA. Copper, 18% of the RDA. Iron, 15% of the RDA. Zinc, 13% of the RDA, and potassium, 9% of the RDA. Now I had to step away because I need to make sure that I understood what RDA means. RDA means recommended dietary allowances. So of course I had to Google that. You know, like I said, I'm an explorer. I'm a seeker just like most of y'all. I just have the gall to share what it is I have, because a lot of times many of us are feel hindered because we don't want people to be judging the fact that we're not know-it-alls. I'm not a know-it-all. You know what I'm saying? I'm striving to be a know-it-all. I want to know as much as I possibly can. I don't mind learning from you. I just hope you don't mind learning with me. We can learn together, or sometimes you can teach me and sometimes I can teach you. All right, so recommended daily allowance. So over 10% of the recommended daily allowance for vitamins B1, B2, B6. Small amounts of calcium, B3, niacin, and vitamin E. All right, this is coming with a total of 222 calories, with 39 grams of carbs and 4 grams of fat. It also contains a small amount of omega-3 fatty acids. Alright? Quinoa is non-GMO, gluten-free, and usually grown organically. Even though technically not a grain, it still counts as a whole grain food. Alright? They say NASA scientists are looking at it as a suitable crop to be grown in outer space. So let's go. Contains part 2. Other second benefit contains the plant compounds quercetin and camphorol. The health effects of the real food go way beyond the vitamins and minerals we're all familiar with. Because now there's a whole bunch of stuff we could experiment with this, right? If they look at it as like a whole grain, can we use it as a whole grain? Can we cook it and grind it down and possibly bake with it? You know what I'm saying? There are thousands of trace nutrients in there, some of which are extremely healthy. This includes interesting molecules called flavonoids, which are plant antioxidants that have been shown to have all sorts of beneficial effects on health. Two flavonoids that have been particularly well studied are quercetin and camphorol, and they happen to be found in large amounts in quinoa. In fact, quercetin content of quinoa is even higher than typical high quercetin foods like cranberries. These important molecules have been shown to have anti-inflammatory, antiviral, anti-cancer, antidepressant effects in animal studies. By including quinoa in your diet, you will significantly increase your total intake of these and other important nutrients. 3. Very high in fiber, much higher than most grains. Another important benefit of quinoa is that it's high in fiber. One study that looked at 4 varieties of quinoa found a range between 10 and 16 grams of fiber per every 100 grams. Alright, one study that looked at the 4 varieties of quinoa found a range between 10 and 16 grams of fiber per every 100 grams. This equals 17 to 27 grams per cup, which is very high, more than twice as high as most grains. Boiled quinoa contains much less fiber, gram for gram, because it absorbs so much water. Unfortunately, most of the fiber is insoluble fiber, which doesn't appear to have the same health benefits as soluble fiber. That being said, the soluble fiber content is about 2.5 grams per cup, which is still decent. Quinoa is much higher in fiber than most grains, with one source finding 17 to 27 grams of fiber per cup. Alright? Quinoa is gluten-free and perfect for people with gluten intolerance. 5. Very high in protein with all essential amino acids. Protein is made of amino acids. Some of them are termed essential because we cannot produce them and need to get them from the diet. If a food contains all essential amino acids, it is seen as a complete protein. The problem is that many plant foods are deficient in certain essential amino acids, such as lysine. However, quinoa is an exception to this because it contains all the essential amino acids. For this reason, it is an excellent source of protein. It has both more and better protein than most grains. With 8 grams of quality protein per cup, quinoa is an excellent plant-based protein source for vegetarians and vegans. Has a low glycemic index, which is good for blood sugar control. That's 6, 7. High in important minerals like iron and magnesium. There are many nutrients in the modern diet that people tend to be lacking in. This is particularly true of some minerals, especially magnesium, potassium, zinc, and for women, iron. Interestingly, quinoa is very high in all 4 minerals. It is particularly high in magnesium, with 1 cup having about 30% of the recommended daily allowance. The problem is that it also contains a substance called phytic acid. Now listen, which can bind these minerals and reduce their absorption. How do you handle that? However, by soaking and or sprouting. See, because a lot of seeds have chemicals that protect them, right? And the best way to get rid of those chemicals, right, so that your body can process really what the seed has, rather than just getting the fiber, you need to soak the seed and allow the seed to do what it's supposed to do. The seed generates life, right? And if we want to get the benefits from the seed, we got to allow the seed to start the genesis. Because right then, because look at lentils. Look at all the beans that we eat, right? They basically seeds. We need to let them soak. When they soak, they become alive, which means they are brimming with ashe. Not just any regular ashe. This is new generated ashe. You understand what I'm saying? Which is sort of like stem cells, right? This ashe has not taken form. This ashe is not controlled by the water or the this is ashe that is like a stem cell that once you take it upon yourself, once you take it within yourself, your body can shape what is going to use this ashe for, right? We got ashe that coming through the air, but this ashe has been formed. We got ashe that come in through the water, it's been formed and it has to be used in a certain way. We got ashe that comes through certain foods. It's already been formed, but coming from seeds and nuts, that ashe is fresh energy. It's like it hasn't been formed. It hasn't really been tampered with. And when you are the first one to get that, you get a new level of energy that you can harness and use to shoot you towards where you want to go, right? We're eating to energize us in our movement towards greatness. We're eating to move us towards our goals. We're eating, right? We're eating to fuel our quest, right? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off into that. The problem is that it also contains a substance called phytic acid, which can bind these minerals and reduce their absorption. So we want these minerals. However, by soaking or sprouting the quinoa before cooking it, you can reduce the phytic acid content and make these minerals more bioavailable. Sort of like fermenting, huh? Quinoa is also pretty high in oxalates, which reduce the absorption of calcium and can cause problems for certain individuals with recurrent kidney stones. So, we can reduce these problems by soaking it, right? Give it a couple hours, or if you have foresight, the night before you're gonna cook it, let them soak. Same thing with the beef. Let them soak. Let them soak for a couple of hours, right? Right? Let them soak. Boom. Now, if you use a steamer, one of the things I do is you could put the seeds or the beans in the steamer and allow it to sit. And even while steaming, since it's still soaking, it still allows it to come alive. But it's best to just let them sprout. Has beneficial effects on metabolic health. All right, hold on. Okay, Google. Let's do this, because I want us to be clear on this. Okay, Google. What is metabolic health? Okay, Google. What is metabolic health?
According to National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, NIH, metabolic syndrome is the name for a group of risk factors that raises your risk for heart disease and other health problems, such as diabetes and stroke. The term metabolic refers to the biochemical processes involved in the body's normal functioning.
All right. So it refers to the biochemical processes involved in the body. Right now, listen to the diseases. You hear some of the diseases they talking about, strokes and diabetes, right? One, we already connected this to the proper intake of air, proper intake of water, proper intake of food, and culturally appropriate ways of doing it, right? So, given the high amount of beneficial nutrients, it makes sense that quinoa could lead to improvements in metabolic health. Although this needs to be studied more thoroughly, I did find 2 studies, one in humans, the others in rats, that examined effects on metabolic health. The human study found that using quinoa instead of typical gluten-free breads and pastas significantly reduced blood sugar, insulin, and triglyceride levels. The rat study found that adding quinoa to a diet high in fructose almost completely inhibits the negative effect of fructose. All right, that's a form of sugar that is kind of hard for your body to deal with. All right, very high. Hold on. All right. So the rat study found that adding quinoa to a diet high in fructose almost completely inhibited the negative effects of fructose, right? So now those of us that are doing like straight juice, like raw juice, some of y'all might be juicing too. One of the things we got to watch out for is for the fructose, because the one thing that our body, it's hard for our body to deal with fructose, right? When it's dealing with what is it called, glucose, the body releases insulin. It knows how to deal with it. But when it's dealing with fructose, it deals with fructose more like a fat and tries to turn it into fat, right? So the good thing about quinoa is that quinoa can help your body deal with straight fructose. All right, so it can help act like because the problem with straight juice, when we extract the juice, what we do is we remove the fiber that is needed to help the body push some of that fructose up out of our body. All right, but when we drink juice, we're getting straight fructose, and our body is one. How do I deal with this? All right, boom, let's turn it to fat. Let's turn it to fat. Let's turn it to fat. And if your body's not burning fat, right, you don't get the benefit directly of that fructose. At least that's my theory. All right, may help you lose weight. This is quinoa. In order to lose weight, we need to take a few calories. We need to take in fewer calories than we burn. I'm not a big component of the calories thing, but so we'll skip that one. You can look that up yourself. May help you lose weight. Quinoa, easy to incorporate into the diet, and that's it. All right. So now, on this great day of Kuumba creativity, go out and create new ways of using quinoa. Right? Create new things in your diet, and be sure to share it with your family on the journey. All right, this is Brother High Tim. I want to thank you, and with that, we out. Thank you for watching the video. I want you to subscribe. Click the bird right there, the fiery bird, and I also have a special video just for you right there. And for those that want more information about Nyame Journey, go to our site. It should be right about there.